We left out with Lizzie and Scott, where Scott finds out that Lizzie is not going to get out of prison as fast as she thought she was going to get out of prison because of the heroin and because of the meth, because of the cell phone. She might do another 12 years. And unless he gets her a lawyer, which is going to cost him $14,000, she most likely will do another 12 years. And he's actually considering doing it. So he's at his house, I guess, you know, trimming the hedges or whatever, and his friend Charlene comes over, the one who helped him pick out clothes, or like didn't want to help him pick out clothes at that boutique a couple episodes ago, is like, where have you been? You have not called me. You have not answered my phone calls. I don't understand. Where have you been? What have you been doing? And he's like, I've been sad because Lizzie, you know, she's going to do another 12 years, and I feel like it's my fault. Charlene is like, it probably is your fault. She probably bought those drugs with the money that you gave her. So you're financing her habit, and now she's going to be in there longer. So you're out here now just trimming the bushes. And he's like, well, it's better than drinking. So I'm like, oh, now we know that Scott has a drinking problem. Great. They seem like they're going to be such a good couple when she gets out of prison. So anyways, Charlene's like, come on, let's sit down and have this conversation. So they go and sit down on his front porch, and she's basically over Scott. She's not in any place in this journey with dealing with Scott where she's going to be nice to him in front of the cameras. She's just mad at him, basically telling him he's stupid and that he's dumb and he better not pay for this lawyer. And he's like, well, I'm being loyal. I guess I said for better or for worse, and this is for worse. Scott is going to lay down $14K. Because he feels like this isn't the time for him to cut and run. And Charlene is like, this is exactly the time to cut and run. I feel like Lizzie's an adult. She has to hold up to her end of the bargain, and she did not hold up to her end of the bargain. And it's not Scott's job to swoop in and save her. He did all that he should and could do. And all she had to do was make it to the finish line. And she did not. That's all I have to say about that. This situation makes me mad. I'm just like Charlene. Like, I'm mad, and I'm just like, call me when you're done with this. So the next scene we have is with Dom and Mary. Okay, so this is where Mary really redeems herself. Her and her friend go wedding shopping, and she says that she made this appointment like a couple months ago before she had the tiff with Dom, and so she wasn't gonna break it. She was gonna go in here and look for wedding dresses. And she's trying on a bunch of wedding dresses, and she's starting to really think about her relationship with Dom and whether or not they're gonna get married. And she's telling her friend, you know, this is what I waited for and I was promised, and I feel like he's not holding up his end of the bargain. And her friend is like, well, he produced a ring. He's the one who promised this, so he needs to hold up to his end of the bargain. And part of me is just like, that sounds like something you say for a woman who doesn't have any options because she's not allowed to work. Like, what bargain? Like, this day and age, a marriage proposal isn't like a bargain anymore. Until you guys actually say I do and sign those papers with whomever and turn them into the county or the city or whatever, like, you can walk away. You don't owe anybody anything, especially if it comes to such a big life decision. Now, it sucks if you do walk away, but you can walk away. You shouldn't get married to somebody just because you promised them a year ago that you would. And then later on, we cut to Mary and Dom, and Mary's at her apartment, like, thinking she doesn't know. Dom surprises her and comes over, and he just brings her some flowers and explains to her how he's feeling. He says that he still wants to get married to her. He just needs time to get reacclimated. And she's like, I understand that you needed time, and I want to be there for you. And they actually end on a good note that they're about to have sex, so I'm happy for them. And I'm glad that she's acknowledged that, like, it is a transition for him, and she's willing to wait. But I think she like Jonna, just got really excited that, you know, they would just start their lives. Hopefully everything ends up good with them, because like I said, I really do like Dom and Mary, and I want the best for them. Moving on to our next couple, we have Alla and James. So James goes to hang out with his friend Chris, who has been like the only person in his family who knows what's going on. And they're having a conversation, and James starts to tell Chris about Alla and her symptoms and how she thought she was pregnant. Chris is like, it sounds like she's using again. She says she's pregnant, she's sick. It sounds like she's using again. And James is just like, nah. And Chris says that James is the kind of person who doesn't want to take advice from anybody. Whenever he hears anything negative or any advice, he like walks away and isn't interested in it. And he like James tells Chris that he thinks he's being a big douche and that, you know, he's not being open to Allah and he's not being open to understanding where James is coming from. And Chris is like, no, bro, I'm looking out for you. I'm looking out for you. Girl, another bit of outside the reality TV show tea is that Allah is in jail. James confirmed it. He made some comment about like not being able to have someone like that in his life, that it was like a hard line if she started using again, and that he didn't want people like Allah around his little ones or something like that, so alluding to the fact that he had kids. Girl, if I can find it, I will put it on the screen somewhere so you can see what I'm talking about. He really kept those kids and that ex-wife under wraps. They don't talk about them at all in this show, okay? So anyways, James gets back home and Allah's not answering her phone. He gets into the apartment or to the house. The camera crew is there. Allah is on the ground in the bathroom with the door closed. Her mic is still hot, so we can hear her like panting and like upset and like we don't know what's going on. Girl, as soon as I hear it, I'm like, oh, she is on drugs. Like, she's going through something and the drugs are in her system. Like, they're like, cut the cameras off, and that is the end of the episode. Like, it is dramatic. All right, you guys, that's the end of this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching this recap / review. Please let me know down below how you're feeling about this show. Next week is the last episode of this season. I'm excited to see what happens. Thank you for coming on this journey with me, but let's have a kiki and a conversation down below, okay? Don't forget, if you want to have more of reality TV conversation, I do have a Facebook group called Just Call Me Wah. It will be linked down below. Also, remember, you have to answer the questions. If you don't answer the questions to join the group, you will get declined. That is the end. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Tennyson is so smart. I love him. Like, I feel like she's about to mess up her relationship with her kids just to have Lamar around the house. If that was the case, she should have just waited. She should just wait for all of it until, I don't know. I don't know what to tell her. Did anyone notice that when Andrea is at home explaining to her kids that they're about to pack up and go to LA for the weekend, on a whim, it feels like that they're sitting around eating chicken or whatever, and soda, like Coca-Cola, or maybe it's iced tea. I don't know. They're not allowed to drink soda because they're Mormon. So it's some kind of dark liquid. Maybe it's iced tea or something out of like plastic flutes. I'm just like, what is happening? Why are you guys drinking out of a plastic flute? Or is it plastic? Or are they drinking it out of like, are they drinking it out of actual glass flutes? What is happening? Andrea is paying some money to keep her and Nyla up because Nyla looks really good with the makeup. Her eyebrows are done. Her hair is so full and thick and long, and it's a weave, right? 2, her face looks too adult to be 12 years old. I keep thinking Nyla is like 14, 15. She's not. She's 12. And so I was like, oh, it's because she's wearing makeup. She's got on eyeliner, mascara. Her eyebrows are done. She has no lips on. So she's wearing the same amount of makeup as her mom. Tennyson, he's my favorite. He's like, I don't actually have an opinion. I don't care. So like, we'll see. He's so adult. I love it. She was like, don't be impetuous. Like, throwing all these words out. She's like, don't get over there and be impetuous and facetious. I'm like, okay, Andrea, use your words, mama. Use your words. There's this little mini scene with Jonna and Garrett where Garrett is like, maybe we could have less people at the wedding and more cupcakes. And Jonna is so pissed at him. And I'm just like, the man wants cupcakes. She's like, no, we can come here and get you cupcakes if that's what you want. But we're not going to have less people at this wedding. And I'm like, maybe he just doesn't want to pay as much. No, I think he just really wants the cupcakes.